Hey everyone, welcome in. This is your weekly card class from Maine, and I am Julie Maxon, the Maine Stamper. I am so excited to bring you another beautiful card class with four very different cards. And of course, we're still doing Christmas cards. It is Monday, and it's 1 month from Christmas. The calendar is starting to scare me a little bit. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little scared by the fact that it is already November 25th. Fortunately, I've had my Christmas decorations up for about 3 years, so I don't have to worry about that so much. But the pressure of the season somehow finds us, I think, no matter how prepared we are. Hi, Jess. Good to see you on here. So we're going to be using the Yuletide Village Stamp Set. Now, this is a standalone stamp set by Stampin' Up. There's no dies. There's no fanciness to it. It's really cute and it's really simple. And I think that there's a lot of really great projects out there. If you check out Pinterest, beautiful cards. There's some gorgeous things. People have made tags and ornaments with this stamp set. Now it features different houses, a church, and there are zero sentiments. So I talked about this earlier on Facebook when I put up my post saying I was going to do the Yuletide Village card class. No sentiments in this one. So of course I had to grab my favorite Christmas sentiment stamp set, and that one's called Peaceful Season. I always have to look. There's so many different ones. Hi Patty, welcome in. Now this is going to be a little bit of a different card class tonight. Hi Donna, hope everything's going well with you and your family. Kathy is on my mind tonight, and just wanted to put that out there. So Peaceful Season stamp set is all sentiments. It's all Christmas sentiments, perfect for your Christmas cards. So I'm working them into my my cards today. Let me turn off my notifications. I think I forgot to do that on my phone. We're gonna silence those a little bit. Okay, so welcome in. This is a great card class. It's also a simple card class. As I said at the beginning, in case you missed it, this season of scurry is upon me, at least. Sure you're feeling the same way. So these are really beautiful cards, but they're not super complicated. If you are new to card making and you're wondering how to do some of these things, first of all, watch the class, right? It's for free. And if you want these card kits in the mail, you just place an order with me this week using my host code, and you can get these in the mail. You'll get 4 different card kits. You'll be able to swap in whatever stamps and inks you want to. And I do all the hard work. I've got some die cuts for you, some embossed pieces for you, and some beautiful colors picked out that go together really, really nicely. All right, so continue to say hi as you jump on. I love to see who's here watching. Kelly is here, and I know that Kelly has the stamp set. She said she hasn't used it yet, so she's excited to see me. Now, Kelly, my cards are probably a little bit simpler than you might expect. Normally I go crazy, but this one is, they're beautiful but simple. So I'm going to have you guys judge as we go along. I want you to tell me what you're thinking about them. All right, let me make sure I can get over to my workspace, transitioning over, and we're going to get going. So I may not be seeing your comments for a little bit, but I will check them out later. So don't be shy. Say hi. Yuletide Village is on page 56 of your mini catalog. And this one is right here. So you've got 4 different stamps that are houses or churches. So 3 houses and a church. You've got a little Christmas tree here, or a pine tree. It does have the effect of snow if you want so. This is a fence. You've got a really sweet little starry banner, some little snowflakes that are like little dots, which are cute. And then a little standalone tree, kind of deciduous and certainly naked because it is winter time after all. We've got the snow effect here. There's even a snowman on this house, which I think is really cute. Now I want to point out that I was really disappointed. Well, a couple things. I really wish this had dies to go with it. I feel like this is a bundle. It would have been an inexpensive one. There's not a lot of stamps. If they had made all of these houses and this tree into some dies, wouldn't that have been fabulous? I feel like we missed that one. I feel like they could have been done. Now you can fussy cut them, they're not too hard. But here's where else I was disappointed. Page 56, right? Of course, I love this one. Of course, I love the Shepherd's Care. I mean, gorgeous stamp set right down here too. This one right here, I don't know if anyone noticed this over here. When I was looking at the catalog, I thought that this stamp was part of this set, and I didn't realize that Falling Snow is a 1 single cling background stamp. 1 stamp that goes beautifully with either of these stamp sets, and I didn't even notice. I did not. The girl who notices of things, right? So I have this. I believe it's in a box. It's UPS just delivered to me today because I ordered it late in the game. So this is a background stamp. I can't wait to play with it. I am not using it tonight, but it would be fabulous. It would have been fabulous with these cards. Yuletide Village is a photopolymer stamp set. I did use every stamp except for, like I mounted them all up, but I didn't use them all. I didn't use the little snowflakes, I didn't use the deciduous tree, and I did not use the fence, but I could have. They could have been moved into my cards, but I wanted to share with you some simple, easy, quick, beautiful cards without all of the details. So, and as mentioned, no sentiments, so I've grabbed out Peaceful Season, lots of Christmas sentiments in here, and they just worked really perfectly in with my cards. So hopefully you guys can see all that. I'm not sure. Let me look and see. Let me see what you were seeing. I might need to move things up a little bit higher, I think. Let me see. My camera is up higher, I think, today than I anticipated. All right, let's get moving into our cards, because this is going to be, again, kind of a simple, quick and easy card class, but super beautiful at the same time. Yuletide Village card class. With a $45 order this week, you're going to get the 4 card kits. I'm going to give you kind of a sneak peek at the card kits. So you can kind of see here, we're going a little bit snowy. We've got some greens in here. We've got some blue and gold. And then we've got some red with crumbs. So these are really pretty colors, right? Nice little palette here for your sneak peek. So those card kits come to you just like this. As I'm pulling these out of the envelopes, this is exactly what you're going to get. So you're going to get your die cut pieces. Each of the card kits this week has ribbon. I wanted you to know this. Everyone has ribbon in them, so you're getting ribbon with each kit. A $55 order is going to get you the 4 card kits, the ribbons, and all the good stuff, and a pack of embellishments. So this is the Opal Round Assortment. This is what it kind of looks like in the packaging. I'm not sure if it shows up well, but we are going to be using these on our cards tonight. So we've got a navy blue, kind of a yellowish gold, and then a white. And they all have a little bit of glimmer and shimmer in them, which is beautiful. And so we're going to be using those on our cards. That is your free with purchase gift when you spend $55 or more with me using host code J74VG6C3. This is good through this Friday, I should say this Friday, Black Friday actually, November 29th. And so if you want this card class, just place your order before then. I will have some Black Friday specials. I'll be emailing them to you by Thursday evening. And the Black Friday specials don't have anything to do with the card class. So if you see something in my Black Friday specials that you want, just know that that purchase does not count toward this card class. They're 2 separate things. And I'll mention that again when I send out that information. So let's jump into our first card. We're going to get into the bits and pieces here like we always do. So you do also get an envelope with my card kits, just in case you weren't aware of that. I know the envelopes have gotten expensive, and some demonstrators have decided to not include them, but I'm still sending them along. You're getting a crumb case base. This is the Regal Distress specialty paper, so it's got some gold foil already in it, so it's pretty shiny paper. You're getting a die cut tag, and you're getting, these are deckled rectangle dies you can see here, and some of this really gorgeous cherry cobbler ribbon. So there is the parts of this card kit, and here is the card. I'm going to bring this up here so you can take a look at it. So we've got some really simple stamping, but it's a really cute and sweet card. So let's get into this. I'm just going to make sure you guys can see me and hear me one more time before I get going. Hi, Miss Lori. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you on here. And Corey, oh my gosh, this set, Corey, you're going to love it. It is a really great one. I could not wait to play with this one. This one I really love. All right, let's move into what we need for inks for this card. I've got crumb cake and cherry cobbler. So we're, again, keeping it kind of country. This is kind of my country nod, right? A little bit of like a country Christmas. And we're using a few of our stamps. We've got some blends, and then we've got the Memento ink too, because we are using some blends. I have the pecan pie, light and dark, and I have a dark cherry cobbler, and I have an ivory. So this is an ivory blend. So it's kind of a very light blend. I use it on the door and the frames here. And this coloring right here is really pretty much something that I saw in the catalog, and I liked the colors. It kind of went well with the cherry cobbler, so I just used them as anticipated. So crumb cake, here we go. Crumb cake ink, I've got a scrap paper here. If I can get this open, that would be fantastic. We're going to just start by inking. This is a landscape card instead of portrait. Make sure my card opens in the right direction. This is the front. I guess it doesn't matter what direction is right now. I'm just going to add some ink. So we're starting out just by changing the card base a little bit. So I'm just going to go around all of the corners here on my card base. And this is something that I like to do When I don't do a lot of fancy things on a card, if I'm not adding 55 layers, 3 ribbons, 5 embellishments, just kidding, partridge in a pear tree, all of those good things, right, onto my cards, because I like to make them big and heavy and crazy. If I'm not doing that and I'm going simple, then I like to bring in ink, because I feel like ink changes things up without having to add on all those 12 items from the 12 days of Christmas. So I've got my tag here. I'm sorry, this is my deckled rectangle square. That's a rectangle, not a square, Julie. Okay, we're going to get this together. I know we are. I know we are. So this is the difference here between something that has a little bit of ink on it and something that does not. And I feel like it really changes things up a lot. Now, I love the crumb cake ink for antiquing. I feel like anything with crumb cake, you add on some ink, you change it up a little bit. It just gives that instant Victorian antique like old feel vibe, right? But it goes really great with our country Christmas too. So there we go. We've added a whole bunch of ink with our crumb cake, and crumb cake is done. This case has had a little abuse. I think some of my stampers have been trying to pry it open with bear claws because it's a little bit broken on the edges, but that's okay. It still works. It's just a little hard for me to close it sometimes. All right, let's do our stamping. We have this cute little tag and cherry cobbler ink. Now, as mentioned, we're using the Peaceful Christmas Stamp Set, which I'm not sure where I set it aside. And yes, it's over here. Peaceful Season. We didn't really talk about the stamps in here, but I grabbed some out. Now, I want you to know this is an important fun fact about this stamp set. These sentiments that are on the cover are not true to size. Right here it says images are 85%. So these are smaller. So when I was playing with my dies, I'll just grab a die for example, because I don't have that one right handy. But I was playing with my dies to see what would fit nicely, like I normally do, because most of the time, I'm going to say at least 90% of the time, Stampin' Up! Has the images true to size. So you can put your die on and go, yep, that'll fit, that'll fit. These ones are bigger sentiments. So here's wishing you all the things. And here is wishing you all the things. So they are bigger for sure. Like this doesn't quite fit in there, but here it looks like it's perfect. So sometimes when you're playing with these, you have to be careful to know if it is full size or not full size, because that does make a big difference when you plan something and then it doesn't work. So noted on that, right? So we're going to go ahead. I grabbed out some smaller sentiments to fit into my tag. This one says, hoping the season is bright and beautiful. We're doing that on in cherry cobbler, so it's nice and bright on that white tag. Loving it. And now we're going to go ahead and stamp our house. Now keep in mind we're doing the landscape position, so we want to make sure our house goes in the landscape mode. Making sure I'm looking at my camera again, my computer screen, to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Now we're going to put the house farther to the right side, and we're going to put a Christmas tree, pine tree I should say, this is an outside tree, right over here next to the house. So they are really easy to line up, the photopolymer stamps. You can kind of follow that line of the snow and line that up really easily. And I forgot that you're going to get a scrap. Let me check my scrap bin. Yes, we have plenty of scraps. I'm going to grab a scrap. I'm going to send you a scrap because I want you to also stamp another tree on the scrap that I'm going to send to you, because this one has 2 trees on it. And we're going to get a little bit tricky with that. So let me move this aside, not the memento necessarily. We're going to reuse that. And we're going to do a little bit of coloring. So for our blends, as mentioned, I'm going to start with the lightest. We're going to do the ivory, and I'm going to use the bullet point because it's just so much easier to use this end. And we're going to do the door, but we're going kind of around the ribbon. We're leaving the ribbon uncolored. And then I'm going to just do the top of this first story window. Kind of looks like a semicircle, and I'm going to do my shutters and sash right there, easy peasy. And now I'm going to come in with the light pecan pie, again using the nub end, the nib end I should say, right? And we're just going to do a quick little bit of coloring here. I'm going to kind of go around everything, add that color in, and then fill in after that. So here we go. So I have been revamping my craft room a little bit here. I'm going to have a grand reveal once I get it all done, which probably won't be until January, February. But I am going through things. I am getting some different storage in here, changing all kinds of stuff. So I'm cleaning things out basically. There's some things that I need to sell and get rid of. But it's a process, and I've started it. So right now my craft room is a little bit emptier than it normally is. So it's kind of nice to have this little bit of extra room, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to find things because I'm moving everything around. And to be honest, some of the stuff is just sitting in my hallway, my spare bedroom, my spare bathroom. I've got things everywhere right now. So I just feel extra miscombobulated. But I thought, you know what, why not spend a little Black Friday money on some new craft storage situations. And it's going to be super fabulous. I'm really excited about it. So while I'm chit-chatting, I put in some dark pecan pie, and I'm going to come back through and just kind of swirl in a little bit of light over top of that and just give it a little bit of shading here. Now, as I'm doing this, this kind of reminds me, this house reminds me a little bit of a gingerbread house, and it's just because I'm using the browns. So it kind of just gives us that vibe here. But that's easy peasy coloring, right? Just a little bit right there. We're going to bring in the cherry. And we're going to do the bow here. Just a little bit here and here. And then we're going to come in with, oh my goodness, my shaded spruce is in another bin because I used it twice. Shaded spruce was so nice, I used it twice. I'm using the dark because I really wanted some nice dark pine trees. Now this is where I kind of struggled a little bit. You can make some of these little swags on here look like there's snow. And I had a hard time deciding what should be snow and what should be green. And I tended to over color, I think, and I probably could have had a little bit more snow than I did. So feel free to color much nicer than I did. That's what I'm trying to get to here. I feel like I want snow, but I don't know where it should go. Speaking of snow, if it snowed at your house already, please let us know in the comments. I know that some people have had some snow and then others have not. Now we might have a little bit of snow in the next few days, but by snow I mean like spots in the sky. Nothing that's going to stick, nothing that's going to hang out too long. All right, so I left way more white on this one. I feel like that might be a much nicer snowy scene. All right, so now that I've practiced a little bit, we're going to do one more here. Now, if you have this stamp set and you're kind of playing along and you're like, I want to make these cards, I want to try them out, you have, you know, these are small images, so stamp a whole bunch of them and then kind of fill in and see what works for you. So I'm just adding the extra green on here and kind of seeing if this works. I'm going to say it works pretty good. Okay, no two trees shall ever be alike. Now this is where we get fussy with our scissors. We're just going to trim this out. Again, we don't have dies for this set, so otherwise we would be die cutting this, but we're going to just do kind of a quick little trim, not too hard. You don't have to be super fancy with it. This is white cardstock, so as I'm cutting it, and we left a little bit of white snow on the tree, so if you miss some spots and you don't cut it out perfectly, it's not as noticeable. So there we go. Cute little tree right like that. Pretty easy. And now we're going to just put our card together. So we have everything we need here. Let's put this together. And card number 1 will be done. All right, so we've got our white and our distress paper. Now on the back side of the distress paper is white. So this really is, basically it's a one-sided piece of specialty designer series paper. Because if you wanted white, you wouldn't certainly use this beautiful gold foil on this. So we're going to put this paper onto our white mat, and then this is going to go onto our card base. Oh, I just flipped over the wrong thing. How silly is that? Oh my goodness. Let's flip this back over. This is the side that I sponged, and this is where we're going to put this on here. So I made sure that the layers weren't too tight so you could see a little bit more of the card base, and then we're going to glue these two together. So our little deckled rectangle, one on top of the next, just like that. And then we're going to bring in some dimensionals. I think I need a new sheet, so I'm just going to grab one. Look at that. All right, so dimensionals on the back of this piece. So these cards are meant to be kind of simpler, quicker, easier in case you have to make a whole bunch still and you have a million billion things to do before the month is up. not, and I don't mean November. I mean the month that's running from today until December 25th, which is coming up so quickly. So I put that little piece on with the dimensionals, and we're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to put a dimensional right over here in the corner, and then I'm going to add some glue on the side that's going to hit my deckled rectangles. So we're going to bring this over here. Now this is, it might seem sad that you're covering up this tree a little bit, but it's going to be okay because we have tree number 2 on standby. And this guy, I just added a little bit of adhesive, and I'm going to kind of offset him and pop him down here so that he's just right here next to our tree, onto our tag, but not covering up our sentiment. See how nicely that all works out? Just beautiful. Now you're getting some beautiful ribbon here. This has gold on it as well. So it's cherry cobbler with gold. This is a nice little trim because it's, I think it's more narrow. And that makes it just a little bit more mail friendly. And by mail, I mean put it in the mail and send it to somebody with a postage stamp. Okay, so you can go ahead and make a little bow, and then that's going to come right over here on this little tag. Now you could loop it through there if you want to and also make a bow, or you could you know, just run it through there and however you want. I'm actually going to trim this up a bit, make it a little bit smaller. There we go. And my favorite way to put the ribbon down is always tear and tape. So I'm just going to pop a little bit off of my roll, put it on the back of my ribbon, and I kind of squish it into the fabric here, and then I peel off the white paper. And if there's extra like tall around the ribbon that I want to hide, I'll kind of smush that up with my fingers, kind of like you do with a glue dot. And we're going to pop this on here. And it's just really cute. It's just a nice little piece of extra bling on there. It kind of reinforces that, the gold foiling and all that specialty. Now, this is where I'm going to bring in my embellishment. And I'm going to actually use, it's kind of funny, I didn't think these little yellow gold embellishment pieces would work out as beautifully as they did. I was a little bit surprised, but they sure do. I mean, they kind of mimic the gold on here, and they give it a little bit of a shine. So that's card number 1 done, and pretty easy and also really cute. Now keep in mind that any of these card designs, if you have the houses at home or you're getting them, you can change up your designer series paper and your colors on your house and your ribbons. So any of this can be changed, which is, it's like just the most beautiful thing, that these are as fun, simple, quick, and beautiful as they really are. So card number 1 is done. I'm just going to check my messages real quick. We're going to jump into card number 2 in just a second. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Donna Buke, I didn't know you were in Maine. Oh my goodness. I wish I was with you guys. Wish I was with you watching me. That is so awesome. Kathy likes my joke on male friendly, and she spelled male M-A-L-E. You guys are so awesome. I love your comments. I love reading your comments. Okay, I gotta get back to the class now. So let me go back over to the card number 2. But there we go. Card number 1 is done. Card number 2. Let's do something in green. So we've got some red down. Let's try some green next. This one's also going to be simple, beautiful, and very effective. And ribbon. There's lots of ribbon in my card kits because I feel like, I don't know, ribbon and all the good things, right? So you're getting a thick white card base. You're getting some really pretty shaded spruce. And this is the designer series paper from Sentimental Christmas. On the back side is something extra cute as well. So maybe if you want to go in a different direction with this card, you've got all of these pieces to work with. So let me get out the parts and pieces first to this one, and then we're going to jump into this one. All right, so this one is the Perennial Postage Dies. We're going to use shaded spruce ink. Of course, you're getting that gorgeous ribbon. And we're also using some blends. I should turn this back over because this looks like the blend wouldn't match if I didn't work it the correct way. So let me work it the correct way. Oh, and would you like to see the card? This is the card. And this one is super fancy in the way that we're using the card base itself for a sentiment. So if you're sending out a lot of Christmas cards, you're still working on them, you can actually use a white card base, right? You can stamp on the bottom of it, And then when you turn, I didn't decorate the inside, of course, but it's just easier to work with a white card base and then just add a few things. This is a very simple card, but it's also really pretty. So again, I've kept the color palette pretty neutral and monotone, and it just makes it all kind of blend together. So let's talk about how we're going to put this one together, because there's a really important step that you have to do that I don't want you to mess up. I don't want to mess up for myself, because as I was doing this card, I was like, okay, remember to do this step before you do the other step. This is one of those that directions would be handy, but I never have them done ahead of time. All right, so we're putting our designer paper down. I'm using the green because I love it. Now, before this goes on my card base, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to cut our ribbon and wrap it. So the first thing you're going to do is just cut enough, really, to wrap it around this layer right here. So there we go. I'm going to bring in my adhesive tape runner. Oh, well, it would help if I took the top off. And we're going to just do this. I feel like I have the Monday plague. I don't know. Things are just a little out of whack here. All right, there we go. All the sticky stuff is now on the ribbon. I'm just going to put this on here just like this and then run it to the back side. I feel like I still had enough glue on there, which I did. So there we go. So now step number 2 that you want to do before you glue this down. So there's 2 steps, right? So we did step 1, ribbon. We're going to dry fit this and we're going to stamp our sentiment. So our sentiment, we're stamping in shaded spruce. Hopefully you can still see this. This one says, love from our home to yours. But I wanted to point out in this stamp set, which I absolutely adore, love from my home to yours. So you can do our home or my home, depending on if you're single or if you're plural, right? So I love that they have both of those in this stamp set. Now I'm doing love from our home to yours because if I use these for Christmas cards, of course I have lots of critters in my house, my husband, all that good stuff. So while this is on here, now this is not glued down yet, in case you were like, okay, we already got that part done. No, we did not. I'm using this as a template to put my stamp on here. Now, if I had messed this up terribly, I could make this card front, the inside or the back or whatever, and I could stamp again. So, and then I would cover that up maybe with something else, but that worked out really nicely. So I'm going to set this aside. And now that we've done our 2 steps, we've done our ribbon step and we've done our sentiment onto the card base and it looks good, we're going to go ahead and glue this down. This is where you, again, you want to make sure you're in the portrait position. Everything is going in the right direction. And by that I mean we have trees that need to be facing up rather than upside down or what have you. All right, so now we're just going to get into the decorating. So we've got a couple of cute little postage die, one in shaded spruce, one in white. We're going to bring in our memento again because quick and easy coloring is on tap today. And we're going to go ahead and ink this up in memento. And this one fits adorably. Look how perfectly it fits in this little postage stamp, right? So I think that's really cute. I'm a fan of the postage stamps. All right, so for this one, we have very few blends. I don't need shaded spruce. I need it for something else. All right, so we have the Light Lost Lagoon, and I have Crumb Cake, light and dark right here. So super simple stamping, super simple coloring. I'm just going to bring this in here so you can kind of hopefully see that a little bit better. So again, we're just doing the house. And the beauty part about these stamps is that all of the snow that we're stamping is, if you're doing it on white cardstock, right, it's already white. So there's way less coloring than normal. Like sometimes I look at stamps that have to have a lot of coloring and I get a little intimidated thinking it's going to take me a really long time. I got to stop and be slow and all of the things, right? But this particular stamp set is one that has so much snow everywhere that you really don't have as much coloring to do as you think. And I'm going to recommend, if you're not a fan of coloring, to go with lighter colors because it's just way more forgiving. We're going to do, I think we're going to do the dark crumb cake for the chimney up here. And we're going to go ahead and do the light crumb cake for our shutters and the door. There we go. That's it. That's all the coloring I did. I didn't shade it. I didn't get fancy. I mean, just simple, simple, and really pretty. So these are colors that I kind of pulled out of or match really well with the shaded spruce here and the designer series paper. And by doing that, I kept it kind of monotone. It looks elegant. If you wanted to go in the opposite direction and make a really bright red house, because you want Christmas, 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 it's going to be beautiful with this too, because it's green, right? Green and red for Christmas time. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so I need my dimensionals again. This time we're just going to put 2 at the top. Ooh, did you see that? My sticker started coming off, and then my hand stuck to it right here. So we're going to just do 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and we're going to kind of straddle this ribbon. Let me just get over here and flip this over and then put this right here. So we're just going to straddle that ribbon just like so. And then with the remaining ribbon that comes in your kit, you're going to make another bow. And we're going to pop this right onto our card. And we're going to add our embellishments, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Let me see here how we're doing on this. Ribbon's getting a little tangled here. There we go. We're moving it in the right direction. So there we go. And then of course you can adjust your ends as needed. Well, maybe a little bit more this way then. Look at them to match a little bit. And then this ribbon can come right on here with some tear and tape. And then after some bling, this one will be done too. I always feel like I need to adjust my ribbon way more. I get ribbon phobia, I guess. I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not good enough. Okay, so that one's going to come on here. This ribbon got really tangled up. There we go. Okay, we're just going to play with that for just a second. So there's our ribbon, just like so. And once again, I chose these kind of yellowish colored golden little dots for the embellishment, because there's kind of that yellow golden color in these pine trees on the designer series paper, and it just really worked. So we're going to put one up here, and then we're going to do 2 of the smaller ones. These are different sizes too, if I didn't mention that before. There's kind of a smaller, I don't know, I didn't get the sticky come off of here. We might put that aside and come back later, but we're going to do this one instead. Here we go. So a couple of dots right there, and there is our little green card, Christmas card, with From Our Home to Yours. So there's card number 2. Look at us just going through the cards today pretty quickly. So hopefully you guys are loving them. I'm going to go ahead and check messages real quick here one more time. As I'm looking at the computer screen, I'm like, oh, those are so pretty. I really like this one a lot. Okay. You guys are okay, good, good, good. I'm glad you guys are liking these cards. Thank you. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you on here. I'm glad you popped in. So this is card number 2. Again, quick and easy cards tonight. And just making them, I mean, a quick card does not have to be boring, right? We can add just enough on there to make it pretty. So that is card number 2. I'm going to set this one aside, and we're going to move into card number 3. So we've gone from red to green, and now we're doing blue. So we're not really doing primary colors. These are Christmas cards, right? But this one has some fancy things going on with it. Of course, when you have the gold in here, you have to have fancy. Oh, I have 2 of these in here. You're really only getting one. I don't know why the second one's in here, but there we go. You're getting a Night of Navy card base. You're getting a birch embossed piece. You've got some of that Regal distressed specialty paper. This one is white and gold. And we've got some more navy and gold. You're getting a stylish shape circle. And then you're getting this really cute little label from the Peaceful, I think it's Peaceful Greetings, Peaceful, I wrote it down, then I forgot. Peaceful Season Dies. I believe that's what that's from. But anyway, regardless of what that's from, oh my goodness, I have extra parts and pieces in here. Let me look and see at the card. Let's look at the card real quick. So this is all your parts and pieces, and here's our card. We're actually going to do a little bit of gold embossing for this one. So we're not going to color this one as much because there is a little bit of coloring on here, but this is our Peace and Joy card, so you can see the sentiment right there. And I'm having some difficulty getting this ribbon to really hold, even with the tear and tape, all those gold little flecks, causing some distress and trouble here. So let's go ahead and pop together the bones of this card kit so you can kind of see what you might do even if you don't decide to use the Yuletide Village Stamp Set, right? You can swap in other things too. But this is going to map perfectly onto your portrait card base in Night of Navy. Oh, I know what that one was. I set that aside. I thought it was extra. It is not extra. It goes here. So we're going to go ahead and put our designer series paper together. I love blue and gold together. I just think it's super elegant. So these are some nice Christmassy time cards because they have those special elements. And then we've got another little layer here. This is the gold foil, just a piece of gold foil matted on Night of Navy. And these are the same length, so you're just going to line them up end to end and leave that little bit of cardstock at the top and the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and put this on now. This is kind of just going to go across. You can put it up higher, down lower, wherever you want. I tend to put it kind of in the middle, but more toward the bottom, if that makes sense. So it's just a little bit more white showing up here than there is down here. Not a lot, not super noticeably, but a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and put this on with some dimensionals. Woo! Card number 4 is just trying to fly right in here, which I don't blame it. It is a really fancy card. All right, so we're going to kind of go down, I've got 3 kind of in a like little swoosh here, right? So I'm going to put this on this way, and this way the dimensionals are not going to be all bumped up by my gold foil layer. So I'm kind of trying to avoid that, but put enough dimensionals on this piece that it can go on here. Now this can go on here at an angle, but if you're anti-angle, which some people are, you can also do it in a straight direction, either side, right? So let's do some swap ups here. I hadn't planned this, but all of a sudden I'm just feeling the desire to maybe change it up a little bit because I like to know what you like better. So now this one has an angle, and this one I've moved in a straight direction, but a little bit farther over to the left side. So we've got these pieces left. So the first thing we're going to do is find my supplies because we do need to do some stamping and some blending. Love some good blending. And I need my church stamp, my Peace and Joy stamp. What else do I need over here? I'm going to bring in my embossing situation here. So we're going to do this too. So let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. We'll just get this out of the way. So the sentiment's going on this cute, adorable little label right here. Peace and Joy. Now this is another thing that you can change up. So it is kind of a square, but it also could be a diamond depending on how you do it. Now since I've changed out the position of my layer here so that it's going straight, I think I'm going to change the position of this piece to be diamond shaped instead. Now the Peace and Joy is going to fit on here regardless if you make it a square or a diamond. So you can see here diamond, and on my first card, my original card, we have square. So there's options. I love options. Options are like one of my creative options, I should say. Creative options are like the best thing. All right, let's bring in our heat embossing. So I'm just going to start with the Emboss Buddy. I'm going to get out my Versamark ink, gold powder. Come on over. So I have a whole new setup for my embossing powder. I bet, as I mentioned earlier, if no one's been, or if you just jumped on, haven't been paying, whatever. I have some new little containers that are holding my embossing powders. I have 2 jars in here, so you can see it covers this up pretty well. This is a because somebody's going to ask. It's not quite 7, like just like a 5x7 container. What I love about it and why I changed is that it's got these cute little, these really easy open and close right here to the side. So my powder's in here. We're going to go ahead and find my church stamp. We're going to stamp this up. So another thing I like about these is they stack really nicely. They're a smaller footprint than what I had before for my embossing powders. And so it's just working out really well for me. Okay, this is going to come on here. So I'm stamping the Versamark Church right here. And I don't have little spoons in here like I had before, so I'm probably going to put some back in, but I'm just going to scoop it up and get all that embossing powder onto my image. And there we go. It's good to go. So that is all set. Now I can go ahead and close this up so I don't lose my 2 jars of embossing powder. And we're going to just turn the heat embossing tool on so that we can heat emboss this. This is where the magic happens, right? Gold and blue. There we go. All right, she looks good. So pretty. So pretty. I like the elegance here. So instead of coloring the church, which there's lots of great images out there where people have colored the church in really gorgeous colors, we're doing things a little differently here. We're just taking advantage of the embossing situation, right? So I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy ink pad and my blending brush because we're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to come in, but we're not going to hit the embossed area. We're going to kind of just catch the circle outside around, and we're doing this on purpose because when we leave the inside of the cardstock not colored with ink, it gives us a two-tone circle. It also makes it look like there's some glowing kind of lighter area in the middle, which I think is really pretty. It's kind of like a glow around the church. So this all around in the middle here is a little bit lighter, so you kind of catch that. Hopefully you can see that, and I'm not sure if you can or not, but it is really noticeable and it's really pretty. So we've darkened down the outside edges there. So we're good with that. Now the next thing we're going to do to change this up just a little bit, I don't know if you can see it on here, it almost looks like stained glass. Like I've got this as a white color pencil. It's in the setup that Stampin' Up. I think they have two sets of color pencils, but I'm just going in here and I'm going to touch on the parts where it looks like there's snow on the church. And I'm just going to add this white color in here. And because it's such a dark base, this navy, the white actually kind of looks pale blue, but it also looks a little bit stained glass-ish, right? So I've got the top up here on the roof done. Now I'm going to do a little bit heavier here on the bottom, so you'll be able to see it a little bit better. I'm just going to kind of follow along here on the paths and around the base of the church. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I'm just kind of scribbling it, and some of it's done, some of it's not done. Hopefully you can see here the effect of that white pencil on there. I just think that adds a lot to this. It just makes it really pretty. And it's simple. This was really simple embossing and a white color pencil. Now we're ready to put this onto our card base. And this is, of course, from the heat. It kind of bends a little bit. So we're going to put this on here. Did I put this on with dimensionals? I did. Beautiful. We're doing it again. Dimensionals. Here we go. And we're going to pop these on here. I kind of put these a little bit, I put these on here a little bit wonky. Well, that one's staying there. We're just going to bring in a friend over here on the side. I don't know what I was thinking, but here we go. Circle dimensionals. This is going to come over. Now I have to decide. I did change this up a lot. I'm going to bring it over this way, I think. So my church is going to go right over here, just like that. This Peace and Joy is going to come over here now. And I'm just going to bring a dimensional in. So this is kind of on the fly, by the way. I did not plan on mixing this up as much as I am, but I think I'm going to put it right over here. So I just need to kind of think about these things as I'm doing this. So Peace and Joy is coming right over here. I think I might like my change up a little bit better. I don't know. Let's add the bow and see where we get with this. Really pretty. I'm liking it. Of course, I need all of your opinions as you're watching online. Do you like the original church or the newer version of the church? I should start my bow here a little bit shorter on this end. Usually I'm working off of a spool, so when I have 10 inches of ribbon in my hand, and I don't know why it's so hard to make a ribbon, make a bow, I should say, with this much ribbon, because I feel like it's a generous amount. But I'm going to struggle with this tonight. Here's the length of the class is due to the fact that Julie's struggling with her bows tonight. I got this one now. Okay. This glitter ribbon, as I pull on it, I don't want to like take all the glitter off either, right? We want to keep some of it on there. This is a little bit of a tougher ribbon to work with, but it is definitely pretty. Okay, so I think I got it going in the right direction. It just takes a little bit of finesse here. I'm going to go ahead and trim that off, and then this is going to come down here, maybe like kind of like right like here, perhaps. Again, kind of just making this up as I go. But that's the fun thing. If you get bored making cards and you don't want to make the same card twice that's identical, Some people don't like to do the stamp stack where you've got like one, you just keep going. You want to change it up. I totally understand that. And you can do that without having to change up absolutely every layer, right? You just change the position of the elements on your card, just like I did right here. That is super cool. Now I have to get my bling on here before I show you like kind of up close. And how exciting is this? Okay, I'm looking for my, okay, now we got to change our bling. So our bling might want to come this way now. Kind of, whoops, that one went on there upside down. We're going to make that work. And now I need one over here. There we go. So I'm doing my little triangles on here with my bling. In case you're wondering, what am I doing? How am I getting that on there? Make a little triangle with your bling. It just makes perfect sense. It's easy on the eyes. And look at, oh my goodness, look at this. I'm gonna lift this up so you can see. I like the changed up version better. And I had no idea that I would. So there you go. So you can choose to create a crooked layer. If you have a hard time getting things straight, crooked is an easy way to just put things on a card. No one's going to know if that's off a little bit or not, but if you prefer to have things very symmetrical, this is a really great option. So there we go, on the fly creativity, right? All right, we do have one more card, so we're going to jump into our last card. And Jess says she likes the tilted card. Second is just beautiful. Thank you. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, Kelly's liking this card for sure. Oh, good. Oh my gosh, Donald likes the original. You guys are liking the original. That's awesome. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, they're both beautiful. I love the stained glass look here, so that's kind of like my favorite part of this one. All right, card number 3 is done. Let's jump into card number 4, and then we'll be taking a look at everything one more time so you can see what's in your card offer for the week. So this one is Pool Party. You know, you're getting some of this silver and white sheer trim. You're getting some Pool Party. We've got some fun DSP. You're getting a piece with a snowflake sky. I love this one. You're getting a couple of tags. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we're going to work these, and then some more Pool Party. Let's grab the card. So hi, Michelle, better late than never. You got that right. And you know what, Michelle? There's replay. You can watch it anytime, anytime. We're on card number 4. Of course, I'm going to show them all at the end, but if you want to check out the class from the beginning, you can watch replay at any time. All right, card number 4. I don't know, this one might be my favorite, just because I love the delicate colors here of Pool Party and white. So we're bringing in our last little house that has the snowman. So the snowflakes, perfect, right? And check out this cute little like banner of snowflakes at the top. Hopefully you can see that. When I stamped that, this one just made me happy. Like sometimes when you stamp something, it's so cute, so simple. Oh, speaking of beautiful, right? Here's the birds on the opposite side. So now you know that this DSP comes from the Nests of Winter. So we've got the birds here, but on the opposite side, we've got some really beautiful, like a Pool Party pattern, which works out just really nicely. And it just kind of mimics all these little dots and spots that we got going on in our snowflake sky here. So I'm going to go ahead and add this together onto this piece. So we're just matting the embossed piece, which you're getting in your card kit, just like so. And this is just going to come down here flat onto your card base. We're going to dimensional up our tags in a little bit. I'm just kind of offsetting a little bit. So we have some layers, which is just, it makes me happy, right? I have to have layers. But they're not extremely large layers. They're not over the top layers. But this is the bones of your card kit. So again, you can do anything with it. You've got the tag right here. You've got this tag right here. So you can see where we're going with that. Now we're going to talk about the beautiful stamping for this one. And a little bit more coloring as well. Then I'll struggle with a bow and we'll call it a night. All right, so Pool Party ink and our last little house. We've got our sentiment here, thinking of you with warm feelings and a wish for all the merriest. Now, the reason I chose this one is because I felt like warm feelings would be necessary if we had a lot of snow. So we're going to bring in that. We've got that cute little banner as mentioned. Our inks are going to be Pool Party and Lost Lagoon, and we do have Memento because we're bringing in our blends. This time our blend pattern is going to be a combination of the Pool Party. So these are both Pool Party. I also brought in the Granite and the Smoky Slate. So these are all grays. So you can see here the blue and gray kind of tones. So again, very natural and neutral, if you will. So let's do our beautiful little Lost Lagoon sentiment. I chose Lost Lagoon for the sentiment because it works really well with the Pool Party. Let me bring this up here again. Works really well. They're beautiful tones together, Pool Party and Lost Lagoon. And also it's darker than the Pool Party, so it sticks out a little bit more. When you have your sentiment, you want it to be seen, right? You want everybody to see what's going on. Now I'm keeping the circle, the open circle here to the left, and I'm going to just stamp this right in the middle, thinking of you with warm feelings. So that's really pretty. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now we're going to bring in our cute little house, and just trying to move things out that I don't need. Here it is with the snowman and the memento. Here we go, onto our big tag here. Just gonna make sure we get enough ink on this to make it happen. All right, so we're gonna stamp this not at the bottom, not at the top, kind of in the middle. No, I'm gonna say more toward the top. Let's go more toward the top. More toward the top than the bottom. There we go. Do as I'm showing you, right? Maybe not so much what I'm talking about. So you can see there's a lot of white down here, but there's a reason for that, because our tag is going to come in and it's going to cover some of this up. We don't want it to cover up too much. We got to have our snowman on there, right? So we need to do that. We're going to bring in the Pool Party ink and this little cute swag. I love this little thing right here. I want this on everything. And we're just going to kind of go from corner to corner on our tag, and you'll be able to get that in up above your house. Okay, so remember, your house has to be like kind of in the middle, but toward the top. So if that makes any sense, that's helpful. I do have shaded spruce for this one, and I'm going to show you where I put it, but it doesn't really show up. I put the shaded spruce on this little bow that's on the door right there. So there's where I use the shaded spruce on my second card. So this card right here, we're going to bring in the light pool party. Light pool party. Yep, we got it. And this is kind of like a duplex house, right? So there's actually like two side by side. That's what it looks like to me. So we're going to color the larger, taller house in the pool party. Now keep in mind, again, this has lots of snow everywhere. The roofs are snowed in. This has two roofs. So there's way less coloring than you think. And then we're going to come in and do the bottom here too. So just around the windows and doors, up and about the top here. Do not color your snowman. Leave him white. And there we go. Done. Okay. I'm not even bringing in dark to shade. We're not doing any of those. We're going to do the second house over here. We're going to grab our lightest color. So our lightest color is going to be, well, none of these apparently. It's going to be this one. Yes, light smoky. There we go. We're going to do light smoky for our second house over here. So again, we're kind of doing the same thing. We're going around the windows. We're leaving the snow, lots of snow here, uncolored in its beautiful white state. And we're going to do the door a little bit differently as well. And then we've got some windowsills to do. Chimney here too. So there we go. So easy peasy coloring, right? And it just looks really nice together. So now we're just going to come in with some darker colors. This is the dark smoky slate. I'll go ahead and do the bottom of the windowsill. Keep in mind there's some snow at the top. On the top layer, there's some snow there. We'll go ahead and do the door here too. And now we just need the chimneys. So I'm going to do the chimneys in the dark gray granite. Just they have a kind of a different tone. Probably could have left the smoke not colored on that, but I colored it. So there we go. Not a big deal. Oh, and then over here, we do have the pool party, the dark pool party. We're going to kind of come back in and do the bottoms of our windows here, windowsills here, kind of in the darker, it's kind of a tone on tone. And then we'll do our door. I did the door in probably a light smoky. Well, this is light gray granite. We're going to go with it. So my point here is these grays are kind of interchangeable. I didn't write down what I did. I just figured I'm just going to, you know, it's going to go. So just kind of play, right? Have fun with your colors. But if you need some ideas, these are just really nice neutral colors here that are going to go beautifully. And that didn't take very long at all, again, to color those. So if you're making some Christmas cards, these are pretty easy to do. You can sit and watch some Christmas movies with, you know, your coloring set up. And we're going to go ahead and put this on with some dimensionals. And then we're going to finish up this card with our tags and everything. Hopefully you guys can see these okay. Now I am going to keep this at an angle over here. I mean, you could do this straight if you felt like you're straight. Well, gee, now I say that, maybe I'm going to change it up again. Let's do it. Let's just do it. I'm feeling it today. So we're going to do this one, same situation, right? So you have some options. So this one's on here straight. This one's going to come down here. We still have nice room here to put this on here. So I'm going to bring in some dimensionals down here on the side. And then we'll add some glue on this side. That'll work. So we're doing it again. I didn't plan on this. Again, I never planned to change things up. It just happens. I don't know why I choose in the middle of card class to try something different, but I just, I do. So those are things. And it just kind of shows you that you have the creative ability at home to do the same. You're going to be able to change things up and put them and make these cards your own unique creations, your own colors, all of that good stuff. All right, so we're making a nice little bow here with this sheer silver ribbon, which is really pretty. We're going to kind of angle up our ends a little bit. Now this is going to come up here and cover this little opening that's right here on this tag. So we're covering this one with our ribbon. And here we go, just like so. Okay, so that's going to go on there. And then we're going to bring in our bling. So for our bling, for this one, I went with the white, because we need the white bling on this one, right? So, and it's got that little kind of shiny stuff going on. So I'm going to put a large one, a small one, and then I took a large one and I actually put it down here over top of this little hole that's right here. So there's still a tag hole right here because these are tags. These are die cut tags. So I just put it right there just to cover it up. So now it just kind of looks like it's a complete die cut without a hole in it, right? You don't know that there's a hole in there. That's where I'm going with that. If that makes sense, I thought it worked out perfectly. These little embellishments, which are free to you with your $55 order this week, along with the card kits. These are they're not Christmassy, right? They are like all occasion kind of bling, but look how we made them work in the card kits today. So I'm just gonna find my camera over here and kind of share with you again. We've got an original that's got a little bit of an angle to it, and then we have the new version, which has a straighter feature. So that is card number 4. Let me bring in all the cards so we can take a quick look. We've got card number 3, which we did the same thing again. We had the angle and then we changed it up and did straighter on that one. So that's our church with blue and gold and some embossing. We had card number 2, which was green and pretty. Let me move some things out of the way here so we can get all these in here. Green and pretty, from our home to yours. And we started out with this cute little red card, this little red number that's kind of like a crumb cake and cherry cobbler. So those are the card kits for the Yuletide Village card class. How did we do on time? Oh my goodness, we did really good on time. We did this in an hour, and that is always my intent, is to get this card class in an hour. 4 cards in an hour, I think it's pretty good. Kathy likes the ribbon, Donna likes them both. Michelle will watch replay. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this card class. A little bit simpler. The card kits are just beautiful enough that you don't have to go over the top. You can easily swap out the Yuletide Village stamps and put in other stamps that you already own. So if the Yuletide Village isn't something that you want to get or something that you don't have to have it to do these card kits, right? So you can order anything that's in the catalog, and then you can get these card kits in the mail and then have fun playing, just like I shared with you tonight during class. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate your time. This is a really busy week. I know we're all jumping into Thanksgiving week here. We've got tons of things to do. So I know that your time is precious, and I'm so glad that you chose to spend a little bit of it with me. If you have any questions on this card class, please leave your questions in the comments and I'll check them out. And Jess says the blue card is her favorite. Yeah, the blue, Jess, with the church, the dark blue, or the pool party blue. I think the pool party blue is also like a light blue. So, or maybe you like them both. But I have a feeling it's the dark blue that you're talking about. So anyway, that's my class for today. I will be sending out some information on my Black Friday through Cyber Monday specials. So make sure you check them out in the email, and I will go back through and check all your comments again later. Michelle says the red one. Oh wow, that's awesome, Michelle. That was the one we started out with. I'm so glad that so many of you like different cards, because then, right, then everyone, there's a little bit of something for everyone. That's always my intent. I love it when there's a variety of answers for which card is your favorite. Hi Janice, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. I'm so thankful for you. So enjoy the week with your family and friends. Please have a safe and happy holiday, and I will see you again next Monday, which is December and my granddaughter's 14th birthday. So that'll be exciting too. Kathy D likes the dark blue. Donna likes the dark blue. That's so awesome. All right, thanks you guys. Please enjoy the week. I will see you again soon. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye.